But you talked about fight camp. I'm assuming you were at the Dillian Whyte Povetkin fight,
Yes.
and if so, did you get a chance to talk to Dillian? And if so, what advice did you give him after a loss like that?
I spoke to Dillian. Dillian, I've got an awful lot of respect for. He faces anyone and everyone when he doesn't need to. He's been doing this now. I think he's the most improved heavyweight in the world since the Anthony Joshua defeat. He really is. He fought everyone. He fought against former world champions, former European champions, and he kept on improving. And it's a great thing to show other fighters that a loss doesn't mean, you know, your career's over at all. So he's gone from strength to strength. I think the one thing he will kick himself over looking back is he switches off for one split second. And in my opinion, his only mistake is when he goes into the roll, coming out to that shot, he takes his eyes off Povetkin and he looks at the floor when he goes into the roll. And he does not see what's coming. In my opinion, if he keeps his eyes on Povetkin and he sees what's coming, the punch definitely still drops him because it lands so clean and so sweet that it's definitely going to put you on your backside. But if you see the punch coming, you can slightly brace a little bit more and you will absorb that. You go down, but you still get back up. It's like other fights he's had in the past where he's been down a number of times, Dillian Whyte, but he always salvages away and gets himself back in the fight. I 100% believe if he keeps his eyes on Povetkin as he's going through that role, as most fighters do at that level, then he goes down, but he absorbs it, he gets up and he resumes. Let's be honest, guys, he's one punch away from wiping Alexander Povetkin out. He's dropped Povetkin twice, quicker than anyone's done it before in his career. He's on one punch away from wiping Povetkin out. He just makes that little mistake, and that is only, in my opinion, down to that little tiny bit of inexperience. You know, he doesn't have an amateur pedigree. He's not an Olympic gold medalist like these guys, and that is shown at the very final hurdle. You know, the top boys in the world couldn't do that. I've been around the world and watched Alexander Povetkin for the last 15 years as an amateur and a pro. In 15 years of watching him, amateur and professional, I have never seen Alexander Povetkin celebrate a victory the way he did against Dillian Whyte. He screamed. I was there at the venue. He screamed at the top of his voice, and it wasn't a scream of happiness and being so good that he's done it. It was a scream, guys, of relief, because he knew that was the finals. That was a one-in-a-lifetime punch. He will not throw another punch like that in his career. That was I'm not going to say it's a lucky punch because there's no such thing in boxing, but that's a once in a career, once in a lifetime punch.
You know, he's had to vary his training. You keep doing the same thing, it becomes too repetitive. So he's brought Sugar Hill over. He's been over here for nearly a month now. And obviously they were working towards that December date with Wilder. And at the moment, that's looking like iffy. But, you know, he's in fantastic shape. He's probably in the best shape of his career ever. And that's something, isn't it? That's something. And you see, when he gets fit and when he's well, you see in his last fight how well he was. Think what he's going to be next time, what he's going to bring to the table. I mean, you know, he's really, really on it. And more importantly, he's on it mentally. And I don't want him to lose that mental edge that he's got. I don't want him to get despondent about it. So we've got to all work to make sure something happens.
Have you spoken to Bob since?
No, I've spoken to him for a couple of weeks now.
But in terms of sort of percentages, what do you reckon the chances are that we can get something to happen? Because obviously the whole boxing world wants to see him fight, don't they? And I know all the boxers want to fight, but contracts are difficult. So is it just the Wilder problem really that would stop it, like the contractual Wilder problem?
Well, the Wilder fight is contracted. It's got to happen. It's got to happen this year, and we want to get it on. You know, that's what we're working towards. And at the end of the day, whatever happens is going to be down to Tyson. It's going to be his decision. And that's really where we're at. It's his decision. So, you know, I would think sometime next week there's going to be a, between us we'll make a, we'll work out what it's going to be. So, right, these are the options. What do you want to do? And it's going to be his decision. He's the champion and he's in the driving seat.
And I suppose there's those dates, the 14th, the 28th of November and the 5th of December. If he wants to eye something up, can you stick him in on them?
Well, we've got some dates. Well, we'll have to see. But you've got to be going to speak to your bosses about that.
I think you have to speak to them about it. They might listen to you.
I hope they do. Yeah, we'll see. As I say, next week, let's see what we've got, and then we can work out where we're going and what we're trying to do, what we can do.
Deontay Wilder has split with trainer Mark Breland 7 months after the defeat to Tyson Fury. Surprised? What are your thoughts?
I just don't know what's happening, really. I was thinking actually a couple of hours ago, it's so weird what's happened to Deontay Wilder. Like, Fury might have just completely done his nutting because we've not even heard anything from him. I still can't make it out. I don't know. And then, like, the reality is at the moment is that, and obviously because of Corona and everything, you can't say it's their fault, but none of that lot, and Tyson included, and Frank and Bob, they don't know what they're doing at the moment. Not as in day to day. I'm saying with Tyson Fury. Because Tyson Fury wants to fight this year, right? But Tyson Fury, I believe, well, as stated, has a contract to rematch Deontay Wilder. But they keep coming out saying, oh, it's happening on the 19th. Oh, no, it's not happening on the 19th. Actually, it's going to happen earlier now. Oh, no, it might be pushed back to next year. Oh, you got to remember, we're in October, right? So we have one more show, or 2 more shows, 3 more shows, November 14, November 28, and December 12 to announce. And they'll be announced next week, right? So if Deontay Wilder doesn't rematch Tyson Fury, Fury's saying, I'm fighting. It's not easy. And you really got to get yourself in order because otherwise he won't fight this year. And we really want him to fight this year. He knows, I heard his comments the other day. Oh yeah, I'll fight Joshua in December. He knows we've agreed to fight Kubrat Pulev. His own promoter done the deal this week to fight Kubrat Pulev. So I want him to fight this year because once that's done, we got to just make the fight immediately. But I just don't know. I think they're a little bit in limbo at the moment, and I'm not sure what's going on.